Reddit Rainbow here with some nice petty revenge stories. Let's check out the first one. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Hey there, fellow petty persons. This is my first post here, and this incident happened a couple of days ago at the airport. It's a small incident, but still gave me a justice bone, so here goes nothing. I travel frequently and am familiar with this particular airport layout. Preparing for a long travel day, knowing I'm facing delays due to weather, I meandered to the spot that I thought was the area I needed to get to security. With this particular airport, they have security personnel checking only boarding passes. This is a precursor to TSA. I migrate into this large group of people, so I can get to TSA, and eventually to my gate. I feel a tap on my shoulder, and when I turn around, this lovely, and so kind person said, "You need to get to the back of the line. The back of the line is over there." I simply scrunched my face and said, "No, I'm not doing that. You don't touch strangers in airports and direct them to where you think they should be, especially in an airport, and today I'm not having it." She barged in front of me anyways and tried showing one of the two boarding personnel, and I overhear the fellow telling her, "This is not a boarding pass, ma'am." She tried arguing with him. Surprise, and I looked at her with the grinchiest smile, and said, "The boarding pass line is back there," and happily walked my booty up to the security terminal. Let's switch up the pettiness with something different. Yeah, we're going with the word different here. Burning Man petty revenge shenanigans. My camp, Iceberg Cowboys, has an ongoing prank war with the Philharmonic camp, Frozen Oasis. Last year, they stole a whole bunch of our ice furniture and giant icicles, set it up around their camp, and replaced it with a bunch of their furniture, and several bottles of champagne. This was likely in response to our 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. techno party, which not everyone in their classical music-minded camp enjoyed. But it's the burn, so instead of being batches about it, they pranked us complete with notes such as, "Hey, we heard your DJs downloaded a second song." In response, we decided that if they wanted some of our stuff, they could have all of our stuff. So we proceeded to carry several large pieces of our infrastructure, including a 30-foot diameter dome and a 400-pound wrought iron Iceberg Cowboys sign, over to their camp and bolting it to the ground in their camp with 14-inch lag bolts. Good, clean and good-natured fun. We all had a laugh about it together, traded witty barbs, and enjoyed many bottles of champagne together the next morning. This year, on Sunday night, before gates even opened, one of our icicles disappeared and magically reappeared down the street in front of Frozen Oasis. They returned it several hours later, but we had already noticed, and it was game on. Our burn barrel for disposing of burnable trash has our camp logo cut into the side of it. So, we decided to swap burn barrels with them, left a bottle of champagne in our burn barrel, knowing that our logo would clearly indicate who was responsible and where their burn barrel could be found. As we knew they would attempt to steal it back, we bolted their burn barrel to the ground in front of our camp with several 14-inch lag bolts. Sure enough, the next night 15 people in polar bear onesies, our logo is a polar bear, clearly they had planned ahead on pranking us again, showed up in full covert ops mode to steal back their barrel and return us. They weren't aware of the bolts though, so we easily caught them in the act but let them proceed, knowing full well it would be extremely difficult to unbolt their barrel from the ground without proper tools, impact driver, etc. One of the polar bears whipped out a Leatherman, and proceeded to try to unscrew the bolts by hand. While she was making progress, it would have taken her several hours to complete the unbolting, so after 15 minutes, when it became clear she was not going to give up, I brought her our impact driver and pulled the bolts for her. As they drove away with their barrel, they yelled back that they had left us a present in our burn barrel that they returned, and in fact, they had left us gifts stacked inside our burn barrel to the tune of several very nice bottles of wine and champagne, special chips that allow us to skip the line at their awesome all-day slushy bar, and a slew of custom engraved mugs. The kicker was this: they had taken the ash screen and welded it shut over top of the barrel, so we could see everything inside but couldn't get to it. Took an hour of popping tack welds with a crowbar to get it open. God, I love Burning Man. Yeah, like I said, different. Let's see what is next up for some petty revenge. Pettiest stepmom revenge. My youngest brother and stepmother do not get along, at all. Not in a scream at each other and call each other mean names type of way, but in a petty accidentally inconvenience the other kind of way. Move things, ask for things they don't need, forget they asked for things. Stupid minor and petty things that make it clear there is friction between the two. While I personally can't stand my stepmom, telling my side of the story of how she won the undisputed petty revenge champion of the planet never ceases to crack me up. I get a call from little brother one day on the verge of tears asking me if I thought he was going to ruin our father's marriage with stepmom. I asked him what he could possibly have done to accomplish this. Little brother, I sent Dad an email detailing some of the annoying things stepmom has been doing lately just to annoy me, and he immediately yelled for her and they've been fighting in their bedroom ever since. I asked what has she been doing, wondering what horrific actions she's been taking against my dear little brother, blood boiling and ready to crucify this woman for whatever heinous action she's clearly guilty of. Stepmom has been using my email to sign herself up for coupons and rewards on all sorts of shopping, astrology, horoscope and feminine product sites. My email right now is 30 plus emails a day that read something like, "Dear Stepmom, thanks for opting into our mailing list. Here's our daily offers for women's hair removal, makeup, women's health news. I'm sick of it." At first, I thought she had access to his email account and was upset at the invasion of privacy, but then I realized she was basically just spamming him feminine products and publications addressed to her, stepmom, to be sent to his inbox, making him either filter through his daily feed on women's health issues, Victoria's Secret's daily offers, spa and salon services and the like, or spend time unsubscribing from those lists. I started dying. It's maniacal. The pettiest thing I've heard in my life. But there's more. She refused to accept responsibility. Stepmom claims that she was hacked and there must be some sick hackers out there actually responsible for this attack on poor little brother. In case it needs to be said, she's not very good with computers, so I'm going to, I think safely, assume hackers are out on this one and my stepmom is the queen of petty revenge. Do I win this sub or what? TLDR, stepmom and little brother constantly bicker. Stepmom upped the ante by spending a day using little brother's email but her first name to sign little brother up for a whole host of feminine news, products, and services, newsletter and email distribution lists. She claims that those sick hackers must be behind this activity that she knows nothing about. I laughed. And hopefully hope a couple others do too, and this will be worth it. Pettiness here, pettiness there, a little pettiness everywhere. Which one of the stories did you like the most? When was the last time you engaged in a little petty revenge? Mine was with someone who frequently doesn't wash their hands after using the bathroom. This person has been talked to about it, but they just don't care. I'm starting a new campaign where I soap my hands, grip the door handle with both hands while leaving, heading to the bathroom in the next hall. When he grips the door handle, he will get soap on his hands, forcing him to wash them. If you don't want to do it, I'll make sure you will have to. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you can get all of the notifications. Thank you for spending time with Reddit Rainbow and we look forward to the next one.